You ready?
Whenever you are. Let's see it. Let's see it.
What's going on, YouTube? My name's Elijah. I am your host today for the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. I am now joined with my co-host, Justin, Tyler, and Matt.
Yo.
All right, that was good. That was good. Maybe I'll have you do it more often. That was for your first time. That was pretty good.
You know what's crazy? I wasn't doing it, but I got nervous.
Yo, I've asked you to do it before, and you won't do it. Come on, you'll do it. You'll do it next
Eventually.
time. You'll do it next time. All right, and today on the Hardcore and the Casual MMA podcast, we are going to be running down a couple of things that we've missed over the past couple of weeks, mainly Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze, Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady, and Moreno versus Ursig. We haven't done a podcast in a while on this, so we are going to talk about mainly just the main stuff that's happened. We're not going to dig in too deep on any specific thing. I mean, most of these cards were good, but it's really top-heavy for these last couple of cards. Other than that, we are then going to move in and do predictions for Lerone Murphy versus Josh Emmett, and we're going to do predictions for a couple more things on that card. General topics that we need to talk about, some fights moving around. Ian Gary versus, what's his name? Carlos Pratas has now been the new main event, replacing Khalil Roundtree versus Jamal Hill.
Whoa.
Yep, Jamal Hill is now injured, not going to be fighting. Replacement, Ian Gary versus Carlos Pratas. Carlos Pratas was moved off of the pay-per-view because Jeff Neal was injured. Whole bunch of stuff like that. Dana White might be moving away from the UFC, moving into his ventures in slap fighting, boxing more, allowing someone else to take the reins of UFC. There's a lot to cover. There's a lot to talk about. I'm sure Tyler won't say much on this episode, but I'm sure the rest of us will. Tyler's just here to try and win the UFC belt, and because he accidentally DoorDashed Burger King to my house instead of his. So, Tyler...
True story.
Yep, true story. Tyler's here in spirit only today. Well, I guess your physical form is here. I like it.
Oh, whoa.
I don't even know if the camera caught that. My thing here. I'll move my computer and we'll do it again.
No, we don't have to.
I like when Tyler's here. You give me joy, Tyler.
Is this the first time he's on
Yes,
MMA?
I do believe this is the
First time?
like not live reaction, an actual podcast. I think this is your first time on an actual podcast.
Maybe.
Because you've been on a couple live reactions, but I think this is the first time on the actual podcast. I'm sure you probably have seen his face before. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful face.
It's one hell of a way to get on a pod.
Our current champion Matt.
With the owner.
Our current champion Matt is here after winning it on our 1-year anniversary episode. If you haven't checked that out, please go back. Check out our 1-year anniversary episode. That was really fun. We did a tournament in UFC 5 and in the WWE 2018, I think, because that was the newest one that we had. It was a fun tournament anyways. Go check it out. Matt and I swapped titles. It was a fun adventure for us to do something like that. Sadly, Elijah was not here for our 1-year anniversary, so I set the balloons back up just for him. Elijah, it has been 1 year since our first MMA episode. How does it feel 1 year into this?
1 year in, 1 year feeling amazing.
Hell yeah. And we're on to another year and another year after that and another year after that. Yes. You know, you and I only missed, I think, for the actual podcast, I think we missed 5 weeks in that year. I think you specifically missed technically 7 weeks because there were 2 episodes where you weren't there.
Yeah.
So that is missing only that many in the entire first year of the podcast. I think that's an accomplishment in itself. We basically did the same thing on the MMA side of the podcast, or on the WWE side of the podcast. Only missed 5 episodes.
But did you record any solo?
I recorded 1 solo on each. So.
But it was like a Monday night or.
Yeah, I recorded a Monday night live reaction on that, and then I did I think predictions for something on the MMA one.
And that solo one was what, 2 weeks ago?
That was 2 months ago at this point. But all right, I think it's time to move into talking about some of the stuff that has been happening. I mean, there's not much to talk about for Roman Dolidze versus Marvin Vettori. It was a card that happened, and now it is over. Roman Dolidze won. They are now 1-1. Shut up. They're 1-1 now. I don't think you run that fight back again. I mean, it was the same fight again. It's just Roman took slightly more advantage.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I like it's whatever. Roman Dolidze now moves up in the division, and Marvin Vettori needs to fight someone unranked. Probably it's
Fight
whatever. No, we do not need to see that for a third time. Moving on to the next week, where there was a little bit more to talk about. Kevin Holland getting a win over Gunnar Nelson. That moves Kevin Holland to basically right outside of the welterweight division. He's going to probably get another top 15 guy next. Or he goes up and fights a middleweight again. Who knows what Kevin Holland does. But, I mean, MVP already beat him. He's number 15 in the welterweight division.
Yeah.
There's not really a clear shot for Kevin Holland to go higher in this division right now.
I agree.
It's going to take Kevin Holland a little bit more work than beating Gunnar Nelson.
Placeholder.
Still love him, though.
He's the gatekeeper.
Awesome to watch.
He's the gatekeeper of the top 15 at this point.
Yep.
Which I think is a perfect position for him.
He's got 2 more fights over John Jones.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
he
a
does. He
painful
does
position,
in
though.
10 less years. Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. The decision went to Carlos Ulberg. I watched the fight. I was watching it on my phone, though, so I didn't really pay much attention. I hear a lot of people are saying Jan Blachowicz won this fight. And now Jan Blachowicz, if he did, like, if people are saying that, then that means 3 split decisions in a row have not gone his way, which is crazy.
That's wild.
The Alex Pereira fight, the Ankalaev fight, and now the Carlos Ulberg fight. All very close decisions. Jan Blachowicz is one of the best guys in the division. I'll need to watch this
He's
fight
washed. He needs to go back to grappling.
back. Yeah, maybe. But I haven't rewatched the fight. Next time one of these guys fight, I will rewatch this fight. But right now I don't really have too much of an interest. I heard it was a boring fight. It was just like people just said, like, I guess the third round was Jan's, but they gave it to Carlos. It's whatever. Carlos has a brighter future in this division right now. I feel bad for Jan, but he's had his time. Carlos Ulberg probably going to get Khalil Roundtree now that he's out of the fight with Jamal. I'm sure that they'll line that fight up. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
And then Leon Edwards
Roundtree's already ready to fight again.
after the Alex. That was like 6 months ago.
That was in October.
Yeah, that was 6 months ago. He's fine.
Should have fought again.
He probably. I mean, Jamal Hill got knocked out by Yuri in January, and he was gonna fight by the end of this month. So
Shows you how much UFC I watch.
yeah, really. Maybe you just keep eating over here, Tyler. Just keep eating.
Don't tell me to.
Don't gotta tell me to. All right, Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Sean Brady got the submission in the 4th round over Leon Edwards. That now puts Sean Brady in the position where he has now beaten Leon more decisively than Bilal was able to beat Leon. If we remember back to the Bilal fight, Leon won the 3rd round and won the 5th round, and arguably people argued the 1st round.
Mm-hmm.
So now Sean Brady goes in there, wipes him out, gets a 10-8 in the 3rd, and then finishes him in the 4th. How the hell did Bilal Muhammad beat this guy?
I don't know.
Like, if they're having such different fights against Leon Edwards, and by the way, this was the best performance anyone's put on Leon in a long time. I mean, Usman, Colby, Bilal, none of them were able to do what Sean Brady was able to do to him.
Nope.
How the hell was Sean Brady getting beat up by Bilal in the last time they fought? That's crazy.
Makes no sense.
I think this does put Sean in a really... Well, I mean, it does put him in a really good position. He's number 1 in the division now. You still got to address he's lost to the champion. I think now JDM getting the next title fight, Shavkat Rakhmonov after that, probably Islam moving up. There's a lot at that top of the division. I don't know where Sean Brady goes from here. Do you guys have any idea what they do with Sean? Like, Usman? Do they have him fight Usman?
Where is Usman?
Where is Usman?
I love Usman. I haven't heard a damn thing.
I know, and he's still like top 3 in the division.
Yeah.
Without fighting for 2 years
That can
in
make
that
sense.
division.
He was supposed to fight Bilal.
Yeah, but he hasn't. I mean, I don't see what they do with Sean Brady other than give him Kamaru Usman. Maybe a Joaquin Buckley, but then what do you do with Usman at that point? I mean,
Unless Usman has plans to move up.
Usman needs to fight Colby.
I don't
third
middleweight?
time.
That's a crazy... I don't know about middleweight,
I don't
especially
know.
after the loss to
We saw him
Hamzat.
at... Where was that? Was that at middleweight?
Yeah, that was at
middleweight.
Barely lost to Hamzat.
Yeah,
He turned it
but
up in that 3rd round, dude. I was hyped.
He did.
But-
That was hype. But
I don't know, though.
yeah, I don't know what Sean Brady does at this point.
Sounds
right
like
now.
there's
There's
gonna
not much at the. I mean, maybe they give him the winner of Ian Gary versus Carlos Pratas. I think he deserves more than that. But
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. He just beat the former champ easily, like more easily than anyone else has.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just going to have to sit on his hands and just wait.
Hopefully he's not the odd man out, because it sounds like in this situation there's going to be one person who's losing.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not him.
I hope it's Usman for sitting out for so long. I mean, if you
He's had a
snooze,
lot of
you
time
lose.
off. He's had his
Yeah.
time,
Like, if you snooze, you lose. You've been waiting way too long to do this, basically.
especially if Sean Brady's just doing that this past weekend.
Exactly. Type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand.
Oh my god. That's gonna get old real quick.
I've been saying it a lot today. I don't know why.
Who, me?
No, me. I've been saying type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand over and over for no reason.
That's me with who, me?
I don't know what you're saying.
Who, me? If Jess ever watched this podcast, she'll love it.
You should tell her to watch it.
I'll tell her to watch it.
Like, share, and subscribe too. All right, audio back up now. I think we're basically done talking about Sean Brady, anyways. We can move on and talk about what happened just the other day. Brandon Moreno beats Steve Erceg by decision.
What?
Steve Erceg has now 3 losses in a row, but 2 of them are losses to the number 1, well, to the champion and the number 1 in the division.
Yep.
And both of those fights are super close fights. Like Moreno beat Erceg, clearly. He beat him. But Erceg, this was one of Erceg's best fights against Moreno. Like, Moreno has fought almost everyone in this division at this point, and no one has done better than Erceg other than the guys that have actually literally beaten him. Mm-hmm. Out of all the guys Moreno has beaten, Erceg has basically done the best to shut down everything Moreno has done. Albazi hasn't been able to do this. Kai France hasn't been able to do this. Erceg shut him down, though. Mm-hmm. Moreno still won. He landed the bigger shots throughout almost every round. But Erceg shut him down. Everything Moreno tried to do, Erceg would throw a jab, back him up, and he just kept on the pressure. He landed more strikes. But once again, I agree. I mean, Moreno won this fight. Just because Erceg landed more strikes doesn't mean that Moreno all of a sudden lost. I mean, it was a really good fight, though. I was entertained. Yeah. I thought it was a little slow in paces with just all the jabs Erceg was doing, but overall, there was always that tension of, will Moreno land a big one? And he did a couple times. He dropped him once in, I think, like the second round. Mm-hmm. Erceg now, I don't know what he really does in this division now. Maybe he fights like Kai Asakura, who just fought Pantoja. I mean, that might be a really good fight. I still think to this day, Steve Erceg beat Pantoja. Mm-hmm. And now he has 2 more losses after that. He has a loss to Kai France, and he has a loss to Brandon Moreno now. I still think Steve Erceg is one of the best in this division. There's no doubting that. Just because he doesn't have any wins over anyone like in the top 10, he's still like top 4 in this division. In my opinion.
Well, 100%. The 3 guys' names you just rattled off. I mean, if you're going to lose to someone, let it be one of those 3 guys.
Exactly. Like, the only top guy he hasn't fought is Brandon Royval. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's a good fight for him next?
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be close.
Yeah. I mean,
like the first 2?
I mean, at this point, there is nothing for any of these flyweights to do after Pantoja has already basically run through all of them.
Yeah, I
mean, Brandon Moreno is stuck in the mud at this point. Kai France, I guess, is getting the next title fight, but they haven't announced that yet. Steve Erceg now stuck in the mud. Brandon Royval stuck in the mud. All of them have 2 losses to the champ.
That division's kind of clapped out right now.
Exactly. It's like prime Demetrius Johnson, like just... Everything's getting boring now because the champ is so dominant. When do you just tell him, go move up and fight Merab? Like, Prudential Center, Merab versus O'Malley.
I'm down.
You're down?
I'm down.
I'm down.
I'm already
we'll
going.
go.
Like, I'm ready right now.
We'll go. June 7th?
As soon as I saw it, I was looking for tickets.
Bro, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison in the co-main event?
Down.
I'm down. Kayla Harrison winning a belt? I'm down.
I'm so down.
I'm so down.
We're not missing it.
I wonder what else will be there. There'll be other shit on that card too. Like Khalil Roundtree versus
anyone?
Yeah, they could be replaced on that card. You never know. Mm-hmm. There could be a lot of really cool fights on that card, and I want to go to it.
100%.
It's probably going to be $500, so I'm going to need to save up.
I'll be there.
Expect me to be saving up money for a while at this point.
Can I get a loan?
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's some things you could do.
No, I don't need.
He did it to get on the pod. You could do it again and get a ticket.
Rojas Jr. picked up a win on this. He by decision.
Almost got submitted though, right?
Yeah.
I heard it was close.
It was close. Chwee-wees. That she was getting so annoyed by that throughout the night. Yeah, he kept on saying it.
When it's repetitive, it's one time is enough for me.
It got so annoying.
Do it 30 times.
It got so annoying. All right,
that was really good.
But that was basically it for all the things that we haven't talked about in the past couple of weeks. I mean, these cards haven't really been like big bangers. They've kind of just been like high level in the division, like what we're gonna get next week. Shit card with an okay main event. Like Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy is like, that's like whatever. Like if they put that on a prelim of a pay-per-view, I'd be like, okay, that belongs on a prelim of a pay-per-view. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's different.
And this is the main event of a fight night. And the co-main event is Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. So there's not really much to look forward to. We're going to still predict for this card, but we're really looking ahead to 3/14. Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez, Michael Chandler versus Patty Pimblett, Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva, Yair Rodriguez versus Patrico Pitbull. It's going to be hard to say for the first couple of days. And then Nikota Krylov versus Dominic Reyes, your boy Dominic Reyes.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
The man that you still won't admit beat John Jones, even though you seem to like him so much.
He never did. He never did.
Whatever, man.
You can't have a good decision with the champion and expect to beat the champion.
That's a valid point.
I expect the judges to score a fight blindly, whether it's a championship fight or not. Just who won the fight. There's no extra criteria. Who won the fight?
John
Too bad
Jones.
it can't be that way.
Whatever.
John Jones's 2 rounds was, and his powerful first round was enough to win the whole fight.
No, it wasn't, because you judge it off of rounds. It's 3-2. It was 3-2 Dominic Reyes.
3-2
First
John
three,
Jones.
first 3 rounds to Dominic. The last 2 to Jones.
First round
Clear.
was just a tester round. That was a swing round. The second and third, you could probably give it to Reyes, but third and fourth, definitely to Jones.
I wouldn't eat.
Mean,
these.
fourth
These
and
are not the
fifth.
greatest nuggets. I'm not a big fan of Burger King nuggets.
They got to bring back the crowns.
They gotta just burn.
All right. In a couple of weeks, we get Renner de Ryder versus Bo Nickel as well on the same card as Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo.
Type shit.
That's crazy. That's going to be a great fight night. That's just a fight night, too. They put Bo Nickel on a fight night and he signed the contract. I'd never expect to see that.
Bo, got to sign it, big boy.
I never thought I'd see
He's
Bo
not main
Nickel
event
signing up.
worthy.
He's been.
No, that's fine. I'm saying I thought he'd always be on pay-per-view. I didn't think I'd ever see the day he was in a fight night. Like, if he was like opening the card on a pay-per-view, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. This co-main event on a fight night?
No, I could see him on a fight night.
I can't see him signing
Think
that
about all your
contract,
favorite
but I guess he
fighters. Think
did.
about all your favorite fighters. They've been on a fight night.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like Bo's
Nickel.
got, I feel like Bo's got a little.
Bo, if you wouldn't sign a contract for a fight night,
He
which
did.
you did,
He
which
did.
you
He
did,
did. He
which you
did.
did, but
He
if you
did.
wouldn't, come on.
I feel like he's got a little bit of that ego, where he's just like, I'm a pay-per-view fighter. I feel like I've heard him literally say, I'm a pay-per-view fighter.
He looks
He's
like
becoming
he
a
could say
villain
that.
also in the wrestling community right now. He's beefing on Twitter a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Getting himself in some deep water. He got drug on Twitter by another wrestler.
I'll always support him.
Me too. I love Bo.
I love Bo.
Love Bo.
I'll always support him. I like American wrestlers. Like I feel like a kind of like kinship with American wrestlers, even though I've never wrestled before, but still,
Hey, quick snippet, man.
it's like our thing.
He's training with Carter Starachi, who is a 5-time NCAA champion.
Oh word.
First ever 5-time NCAA champion training at ATT. So
Oh word.
look out for Carter Starachi in the future.
Where's Wyatt Henderson at?
He's got to serve his 4 years in the Air Force.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
then he'll come into the UFC.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
looking at Olympic gold in 2028.
Yo, Gable Steveson really, he's his fucking.
Look for him, too, in MMA.
Yeah, I feel like his stock just went down though.
No.
Like you don't think so?
No.
Why?
I feel like
He's
his
an
stock.
He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a 2-time NCAA champion. And he's an athletic freak. If he wrestles Wyatt Hendrickson 10 times, he loses 1 time. That's the 1 time he loses.
I just
was
feel
actually
like
thinking about
his
going into
stock
the
has
NFL.
been going
He tried
down.
it. He was on the Bills last year, practice squad or something.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like
He got
he's
signed for, like,
he's failed out of
Not even-
WWE.
not
He's
even a
failed
full
out
year.
of NFL.
WWE is easy for him to fail at, I feel like, though.
Yeah, but I just think that like the more things he keeps on failing at,
He's also
the
never played
more
football.
perception people are gonna have of him
Yeah. I
being
don't
a
think he's one-
failure
I don't
rather
think
than
he's
a
one
winner.
to care
And
about
he
that.
tried to-
Yeah.
Once he got through wrestling, though, he probably tried to use his size.
Yeah, he
to
he
go to
looked not
football.
bad. He was fast.
You
He was
can't
playing,
do-
he was
I-
playing like nose tackle too. It was
You
crazy.
just can't do that.
Did they
for
try and
football.
send
It's
him-
like, these are other big guys who've been training their whole.
Did they
life.
try and send him to the European League like they tried to do to Brock Lesnar?
I have no clue. I don't know if he was that far
you
invested.
see
I
the
think he just wanted to try his
April
hand.
Fool's joke?
Got the whiteboards out.
Yup.
Yeah.
Okay.
The old pen and paper.
We are now going to be moving into our predictions for this week's fight night. There's not much entertaining on this card, so we're just gonna try and move through it, right?
Sounds good
So
to me. I'm down.
I'm gonna read out their names. I'm gonna give you their initials, and then I'm gonna give you their records, and you just write down the initials that you think is gonna win. It's super easy.
Got it.
Super easy, right, Ty? You can do
Yeah.
this, right? I just say initials and
All on the
records.
same page.
We've
All
all
on
got a
the
good
same
puncher's
page.
chance
Just-
here.
Just
I'm
write
not
it down and
erasing.
then flip. Nope. All right. We will do. You want to just do the whole main card? We could just do the whole.
Do the whole main card.
Whole
Hell
main
yeah,
card.
let's get crazy.
There's some decent fights on this main card. There's some names that we'll recognize on this main card.
I'm down to do every main card of every fight.
All right, word. Well, it's your championship, so you're the one defending.
I'm always down. That's why I'm here tonight. You know,
Hell
I'm not
yeah.
going to be a champ who just sits there and is not active.
Yeah, you're
As long
an
as I'm
active
champ, I'm going to be in this thing every day.
You're the Alex Pereira. Of
I
this
think
shit.
I think you should take a John Jones.
What? Just wait every other year?
Yeah.
Fight every other year?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We did just have our 1 year anniversary over here, so maybe I could wait another to defend it.
Maybe you need 6 months.
And, like, take a
6
yeah.
months. Yeah, 6 months sounds good to me. I
He
feel
needs
like
6 months to defend.
6 months is good, perfect timing.
Okay. First off, we have just completely
Didn't
ignore
care
you.
at all.
Completely ignore you. Therese Finney versus Robert Valentin.
Valentine.
Valentine.
Go with one. Of
All
those.
right. Finney is 10-0. Robert is 11-4 and 1 no contest.
What was Finney's
Finney-
first initial?
It's TF or RV, and Finney is that really thick dude. Like if you've seen him on social media, oh my
Nah, I
god, he
missed
looks
him. I'll have
crazy.
to look it up after.
Yeah, you'll have to. He looks crazy. And he's also 10-0. So, all right, 3
What initials?
TF or RV. Come on, Tyler. I explained this all at the beginning. Come on. Keep up.
Or
3, 2, 1.
TF.
We all have Finney. Okay. Yep. 10-0 looks good on paper, so we'll take him. Okay.
I was doing it like it was a pay-per-view.
Next up, we have Brad Tavares versus Gerald Mershart. Two guys that we all know, or at least maybe all of us know. Brad Tavares is 20-11, and Gerald Mershart is 37-18-0. That is a nuts.
How old is he? Like 70?
Yeah, every time he fights, this record gets more and more nuts. 37-18-0. And then Brad Tavares is 20-11. Gerald Mershart is a grappler. Brad Tavares is more of a striker, but he has been using some grappling lately. So either BT or GM.
Like GM Motors? This is Ford.
Yeah, really. All right, we ready? 3, 2, 1. I've got GM. We all got GM. Okay.
I like the experience right there.
I think Gerald's gonna probably take him down and smother him. I have that feeling. I've seen Brad Tavares try and grapple grapplers. He did pretty well against Chris Weidman, but other than that,
He's retired.
yeah. Well, I don't think he is retired. I think he's fighting in the GFL now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Retired from the UFC though.
The
Yeah.
girls fighting league.
That's good.
They should call it the EFL or something, the Elderly Fighting League.
That's where you send them.
Yeah.
That's good.
No offense to any of you
No.
grandpas. Kennedy Injectsuku 15-5 versus Martin Budai, 14-2.
Oh, you love Martin Boudin.
I think this is Kennedy's second heavyweight fight. He's moving up from light heavyweight. So KN versus MB. KN 14-5, MB 14-2. All right, we ready? 3, 2, 1. I've got Kennedy. The rest of you have Martin Budai. Okay. All right. Well, at least we have something different on this card.
Yeah, gotta
Pick
switch
your
it up a little bit.
poison.
Okay.
Although you went wrong because I'm definitely defending my belt, buddy.
All right. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll be winning. Who knows?
Right now it's yeah.
Maybe I'll win my
Me,
rifle belt.
Tyler and
back.
Elijah in the race for this belt.
Yeah. All right. What if you guys just get the same shit on everything? All
Triple
right.
champion.
All right.
Hey, you
Coronavirus.
gotta
No,
beat
his name's not coronavirus. It's Cortavias Ramosos versus Lee Chang Ho. So CR is 9-3, and then Lee Chang Ho is 10-1.
I like his name.
From a distance, this guy's name looks like it says coronavirus. It's so crazy. All right, 3, 2, 1. I went with CR.
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 I went with Ho.
You went with Ho. You guys are both hoes,
Yeah.
and
I just wrote
and we
Ho.
both got the virus.
Hey, I'll be
Okay.
a hoe, but it's down to me and you to be champs now, baby.
Elijah and I both got the virus, and you guys are both hoes. All right, sounds
Go
good.
get your vaccine, dog.
Yeah, really. All right, so now that means you guys still have the exact same on everything, right?
Yes, sir.
But now you and I have different. We have different than them.
you guys have deviated.
Yeah, so you guys need to deviate at some point, and then we'll have an actual matchup here.
Yeah, you give up.
Hey, remember you can't win that belt with an exact tie on his predictions.
Gotta beat the champ.
You got to beat the champ. So this is the show.
Can I
This
do-
is the show where you got to beat the champ, not UFC,
Can I
where
do
you
a-
just have to win the fight. This is the show where you got to beat the champ.
Can I do a crossover episode?
So no interim titles.
Oh, that'd be
What do you mean no interim title?
No interim titles. You got to
BMF
beat the
title.
champ. If you can't
BMF
beat the
title.
champ,
Can I do a crossover episode and bring my WWE Money in the Bank
No.
over here?
absolutely not.
I think we should allow
There are
that.
rules.
I'm
there are
in.
rules to
Why
this
not?
show.
No, let's allow
we
that.
think?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, you want to cash in on the UFC belt? You win the UFC battle for the bank. How about that?
I'll just win it now.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, okay,
Let's
okay.
see, there
you go.
We'll see. Yeah, you got to deviate from what he's doing.
Listen,
you can't just
even
do the
if
same
we go
shit.
all the same, and he retains, just as even with the champ.
Okay.
And right there.
That
He
means,
wouldn't be
that means
right
you'll
there.
get another title shot.
He wouldn't be there.
All right.
We'll see.
Next up, co-main event: Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito.
No.
I think Joe Anderson Brito. Who did he beat in his last fight? Now I gotta find this out. I know Pat Sabatini lost to
Records?
Diego Lopez recently. Pat Sabatini is 19-5. Joe Anderson Brito is 17-4. I feel like Joe Anderson Brito beat someone. No, he actually lost to William Gomes in his last fight. Beat Jake Shore. He beat Jonathan Pierce.
Oh,
That's
Tyler.
a okay win. Nah, he's not really that good. They're both not that good. Pat Sabatini is not great either. Why is this the co-main event and not Kennedy and Joksaku versus Martin Budai or Brad Tavares versus Gerald Mershart? What are they doing here? No, okay, getting frustrated here with the UFC. Dana White needs to. Maybe he does need to go. Maybe it is Dana's time to go deal with slap and boxing and leave the UFC to
Click
someone
on
else.
autofill.
Could be.
All right. PS versus JB. Oh shit!
JB.
Yeah,
What
I'm
was
fighting.
that? What were their records again? I'm sorry.
19-5 for PS, and then JB is 17-4-1.
All right.
All right, we ready? 3, 2, 1. JB.
Palito.
Okay, so Elijah, Tyler, and I have JB,
Let's go.
and you have Sabatini, which
Bobby
now
Burrito.
means that
Take it home.
we all have differring picks on this now.
Let's
Yeah,
go,
buddy.
Burrito.
All right, so now there will definitely be a definitive winner, unless you guys split again on this last
I
one, and then you
can't.
guys might tie again. But
Mm-hmm.
at that point, We'll deal with that when we get to it.
Can't wait.
Main event of the evening, Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. Josh Emmett is 19-4-0. Lerone Murphy is 15-0-1. Lerone Murphy coming off of a win over Edson Barboza. Josh Emmett coming off of a win over Bryce Mitchell. This is going to be a fun fight. Lerone Murphy, undefeated, does have one draw, but undefeated. Josh Emmett's last loss was to Yair Rodriguez by submission. No, I think it's actually to Ilia Topuria by decision, and then Yair submission before that.
How much does Murphy grapple?
He's not a grappler. But he did out kickbox Edson Barboza. So, that's something.
Don't care.
Yikes. He also did beat Dan Ige, who also has a lot of power in his hands. This is, man.
And Dan Ige had a close fight with Diego Lopez.
Yes, he did. On 6 hours' notice.
That was wild. That was a great fight.
That
Initials?
JE or LM.
I like my pick, man.
Oh, yeah. It better be different, man.
I don't know if it is.
I don't know, man. I'm
It's
so
tough.
I'm
That's
so
tough right there,
It is
though.
so tough.
I'm
But
going with my gut, my first thought.
yeah, okay. 3, 2, 1. Lerone Murphy for Elijah. Josh Emmett for Matt.
Oh, word.
Lerone Murphy for Tyler, and Lerone Murphy for
Wow, dude, I'm about to blow you guys out of the water. Are you
me.
kidding
We
me?
will see about that. I think Lerone Murphy is going to be able to stay at distance and kickbox really well and keep him at distance and not let
I
him
like
get
that.
close enough to get hit. I don't know. I feel like Lerone Murphy has all the skills to avoid getting knocked out, and I don't think Josh Emmett can beat him in a straight-up kickboxing match unless he knocks him out.
Hey, that's what he's gonna do a good job of keeping distance till he gets a little too close, and Josh Emmett gonna touch his soul with that right hand, man.
I've seen Josh Emmett not be able to do that to people before, though.
It's gonna happen today or this weekend.
Man, I don't know. It's possible. It's entirely possible. That is really it, though. Do we have any boxing segments you have, Elijah? I haven't been keeping up with anything. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
We have nothing really coming up for boxing, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not yet, at least. You got anything?
Yeah, can I do a quick
Go for it.
shout out Danny Dietrich winning the race at Baps Motor Speedway over the weekend in Central Pennsylvania. Shout out Double D, baby.
Hell yeah.
That was it. Cool
All
little
right.
410 segment.
All right, Tyler, you got anything you want to say? You want to plug your Twitch or anything? You stream anymore? No?
Not often.
You
Let me
should start
put this
doing it
out
again.
there.
Call it the
Shout
hardcore and the
out
casual
my
streaming.
babysitter's a vampire.
Oh, for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah,
real.
we're gonna go watch that now. We're gonna all go cuddle around and watch my babysitter vampire.
I'm gonna have a good time knowing that I'll still be champ after this weekend, though.
All right, we'll see about that, Matt. That's
We'll
that's
see,
a
we'll
lot
see,
of
we'll
talk.
see, we'll see, we'll
It's
see.
a lot of talk. Don't make me cut another promo on you, Matt.
Oh, cut a promo all
Don't
day
let
and
a
do it.
casual take the
I ain't
title
letting no
from you.
casual take no damn fucking belt from me.
Come on,
Come
man.
on.
Listen, man, you won it off of a UFC tournament. I got screwed out of that UFC tournament.
You
I
got
Won a
screwed.
title.
I got. Elijah, do the outro. Go.
Thank you, everybody. This has been the Hardcore and the Casual. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Tyler. And thank you, Matt. And peace out.
Check out the social medias too. They'll be here somewhere. They might be like right over here. Check out the social media.
I'm holding.
Like,
That's
share,
my job.